Oh God, I'm alive. I am never going to be comfortable being alive. It's fine. Don't worry. I have to do the thing. Welcome. Here we are. There's a mystery guest. I know who it is. You do not. And now I have to do the intro. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Music. Hi. Thank you all for being here. However many how many of you there are, I have no idea. I'm looking at chat. SG Fly High. Hello. Thank you for being on the show. I want to waste no time. Why am I doing that? I want to waste no time bringing in the special mystery guest. And it's not as much of a mystery right now because social media. Scott Moody. Welcome. So I will do the thumbs up thing. Are you here ready for a guest appearance? Tweet. No, they're not. Soon. I will say hello to other people. Unipoke, welcome. There we go. They are ready. I'm glad I did that. And welcome to the guest. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I fooled you all. It is not a guest. It is guests. Ha.
Oh no, what have I done?
I'm not sure what you're doing over there, Chad. I think you should just leave the computer alone.
Oh.
It's not your day.
Oh, I've hit buttons.
Now you've done all the things.
Oh.
Don't worry. As long as the computer doesn't shut down, as long as Windows doesn't say it has to restart, you're fine.
Oh boy.
There you go. Hit the X. The round X. Wow, this is embarrassing.
There we go.
It is not.
Okay. Sorry, we had to reboot into Windows 95.
Oh,
it was.
It's Chad's first time using it.
And it's a Mac, so that's even more confusing why it's Windows 95.
Oh, that's a mind twist right there. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Macintosh runs Windows 95.
All right, I'm gonna try.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
well, thank you for being here. As I said before, this is crazy weird, but also awesome.
It is awesome.
As you both are aware, I've watched your channel for a while. I never planned to do my own. But here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, good job on your dry week, by the way. I saw some people in the comments commenting on that.
Yes, that is always an interesting time. It's the weirdest part is suddenly realizing how common and everywhere alcohol is. So
yeah, I've realized that anytime recently that I've tried to like take a week or two where I'm just trying to slow my roll a little bit, it's like every single social function that I go to is centered around having drinks, and I'm like, that's nice, but dang, if you're really trying to back off of it, it's tough.
What was it recently? I usually have breakfast with my mother, and we go to a place that does have alcohol. So sometimes I'll get the what the hell is it called? It's like champagne and orange juice, but I forget the name.
Mimosa.
It is mimosa. Yeah. So sometimes I get one of those. I realized it this week. I'm like, coffee, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. But we're glad that you're done now.
It doesn't count if it's champagne, right?
Yes, it does.
No,
okay.
Champagne gives me headaches.
It's not the best champagne there, so I didn't really miss it.
Sure.
Well, yeah, not for mimosas. You're
Yeah.
probably not putting brute in there.
Right. I'm sure if I had like good quality champagne, it probably wouldn't give me a headache because it's probably not as full of sugar. Yeah, I say I'm having champagne. It's definitely like sparkling prosecco or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know.
I found that I can tell, as weird as it sounds, I can tell when it's not the great champagne. I don't know how or why, but there's something about it.
Yeah, that feeling afterwards.
Yes. Well, just the taste. It's weird. I can't explain it. Like sometimes I have hard times with whiskey and stuff, but then weirdly enough, oh, this isn't the best champagne in my mimosa. What a shame.
Yeah.
That was my brain doing.
Also not the best orange juice. What's going on here? I need to quit going to Denny's.
From concentrate.
They don't serve alcohol at Denny's.
They should. That would make it even better.
I mean, that would make it so much better.
Chad was so bent out of shape the other day because we passed by where a Denny's used to be and it's closed now. And he was like, I'm really upset that Denny's is closed. Like, I can't believe that Denny's is closed. I was like, in all the time I've known you, I have never heard you speak of, nor have I seen you visit a Denny's. So I can't, he just doesn't like change.
Been there in several years, but it doesn't mean it wasn't.
You were planning on going back then.
I mean, I like to have the option to go back. If so, I choose to.
No.
I can relate. There's one.
Denny's was like where we went on like Thursday nights in high school or something because you could get a full breakfast for like $6.
Yeah.
The one that's like not even 5 minutes away changed. Well, last year things changed, but it used to be 24 hours, and then I had to adapt to one not being opened, and then suddenly having different hours and closing before dinner even started. I was like, oh gosh, I was so happy just being able to go there whenever. Now I can't.
Denny's really messing things up for us.
Oh, Denny's.
All right, we will start the whiskey.
We see some familiar people in the chat.
I don't know any of these people.
No.
Who are you? Get out. No, just stay. Oh,
I know you know the Bourbon Wrench because he's a mod.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Bourbon Bites.
The lie has been seen through. Damn it. Co-op whiskey. Hello. Welcome. The Bourbon Wrench. Hi. Nice to see you here, sir. Damn it. And Bourbon Bites. Did I say hi to Scott Moody? I think I did. I'm not good at this. I mean, I'm really good at this. Scott Moody, hello. Steve 8. Did I say that? Hey, my dad's here. Hi, Dad. Yes, special guest indeed. Surprise. Surprise.
Here we are.
Mr. Co.
Yes. The theme that's been going around here is if my mother's here, it's Mama KillCo, and I guess I don't want to call him Daddy KillCo. That sounds weird.
Papa.
Father KillCo. Papa KillCo. That sounds good.
Papa KillCo.
Papa KillCo.
Yeah.
That's been a thing here. I don't know how that happened.
Sounds like sit down and Papa KillCo.
Yes. That's what we do with this, and here we go. Papa whiskey.
We're gonna Papa KillCo right here.
Yes. That can't be a thing. It's gonna be real weird.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but I was gonna let it go.
Papa KillCo.
I don't like it.
My father is in the room.
That's a lot.
Careful with the pores. I'm being incredibly careful because I don't know what to expect.
I'm like, we got a few to get through. I can't be. I don't know. It's only
things need to be done later.
Long evening.
I'm an adult. I have obligations. It is Friday. Yeah. Oh, I didn't say that.
It is Friday.
Somewhere.
Thank
here
you.
And there.
You've all made it. We made it through another week. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. That's a theme here. I don't have a normal work schedule, but I imagine other people do, and I'm giving them an excuse to drink early. And this time it's with special people. I tricked you all though.
A nice little Friday happy hour.
When do they get here?
Yes.
What a jerk.
Are they later on?
They'll be here in an hour. No. There will be no one else except me, so I don't count. Enjoy the whiskey. I like it. Oh gosh, it smells weird. This happened last time. Eagle Rare smells a little different to me. It's always weird when I pair it against other stuff.
Yeah.
I really like the nose on ours, but the taste is a little
It kind of tastes like old butterscotch, like not in a great way.
I've convinced myself it has something to do with when it is where it go. Oh, like because it's starting to get a lot of room there. I feel like something's changing to it. But
ours too.
Ours is even more.
Yeah, because normally whenever I drink Eagle Rare, I get like a grapey note, but it kind of almost tastes like a little bit of a note red wine that hasn't gone bad yet, but it's like you're on day 5 of 7. Like
it's approaching
that point. Like you've passed the days when it was the best to drink it.
The days are yours?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Mom. You said grapey note, and I like that. I think I just always called it kind of fruit, or I've even said like a grape lollipop or something like that.
Yeah, something like that is. I normally on Buffalo Trace stuff. I feel like that comes through, especially like higher proof stuff.
And some people will call it a cherry, which I could see where they're coming from, but for us, it's more grape.
Yeah, grapey, cherry.
Indeed.
A little bit of a wine vibe.
Mm-hmm. I'll bet. I need to get my brother on here someday.
That's funny.
Did you advertise free hot dogs?
I feel like we can't deliver on that promise.
No. I have said before that on occasion, because of the way I am, I'll think about, as I said to you guys earlier before we started, I won't think about food until 30 minutes before I'm starting. Occasionally, I just zap some hot dogs and eat those, and then everything after that tastes different for reasons. Yeah. Usually, I avoid putting mustard on it, but I do ketchup occasionally.
Oh, yeah, that would definitely mess things up.
Yes, big.
Chad's with you on the no mustard.
No, he said he would normally.
Normally, I'm fine with mustard.
Normally,
I would just have mustard and ketchup, and that's about it because I am so fancy.
So fancy hot dogs.
Right, Twitter, welcome. God, this is going to get real hard real fast. Brandon Knight, hello. Denver Patil. There we go. Hi. My bad with last names. But it's okay. It's fine.
No one's judging. I'm not judging.
I am constantly judging myself. It's how
I'm
my
just
brain
here to drink.
works.
Yeah.
Yes, that too.
I mean, yeah, I would say like there was I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I do that too, but then I drink and then I just shut that off. I'm like, quiet you.
Quiet,
Yeah.
you.
You stay over here.
That
No
was
one
the
asked for
problem.
you.
That was my problem in my youthful days. It's like, oh, I have issues with my brain I'm not going to deal with. Let's just have alcohol instead. It
I
didn't
did
work
make it
well.
sound like that, didn't I?
I've had the bad habit of looking up older stuff recently and like, oh, God, all the signs were right there that something was wrong with me. And I just didn't. It's okay. It's fine. We're better now, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay, good.
No, it's unanimous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all agree. Quiet
If
down
it's
there.
It's unanimous.
I would have a real hard time doing a stream if I was actually like that. I could someday, now that I think about it, but I won't.
Be an interesting one to try to follow.
You should have
Yeah.
you on as a special guest.
That would be awesome and terrifying. In my brain, people will be like, oh, they got a special guy. Who the hell is this guy? He has
You
a
can set up
mustache.
2 cameras and then just like do different faces to each one.
Let's see. In this world, would evil KillCo be the one without a goatee?
Probably.
I guess it would, or even just a thicker, longer goatee.
You know what this makes me want to talk about?
The Darkest Timeline.
No,
Oh.
but that is actually a good segue. But I want to talk about Loki, but
Oh my God.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone because a lot of people probably aren't up to date. And
Yes.
like even though it wouldn't technically be considered spoiling, I really just don't want to take any moments of that show away from someone who's going to experience them.
I'm up to date, and I'm thinking like,
I'm just thinking variants, KillCo
Yes.
variants.
Basically, my idea for that is the mustache would just turn down.
Then it would turn down.
Yes. That would be the
Mustache
evil version.
Browning.
That's
You
hilarious.
look like a walrus.
Yeah. I'm
Or
thinking of a character from Alice in Wonderland, the walrus from Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland.
The Walrus and the Carpenter. That story, like, I find it very disturbing
Yeah.
It's
and
meant to be.
upsetting.
A little messed up.
Like,
Disney was like, why not? It's fine.
I mean,
It's the
it's
60s.
pretty
or
upsetting.
Whenever it was.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like when I watch that, I don't feel good about. I mean, I try not to watch Alice in Wonderland too much because the 60s.
with your mustache turned down, you would be the beef. It's what's for dinner guy. I can't think of his name.
Oh gosh, I forgot to grab something.
He was in Tombstone.
I can do it in a minute.
You have time.
What's his name?
I will.
The guy from Tombstone.
I saw what you posted earlier, and
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh, I need to remember to grab that, and I didn't. And it's
Is
right
it
there.
Sam?
But I can wait.
Sam
What's his name?
Houston? Not Houston.
No.
Sam.
A little bourbon.
No, I can't think of it.
Sam Elliott.
Elliot. That's
There
it.
you go, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Sam Elliott. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Oh gosh. You should have a mute button for us.
Is beef
No.
what's for dinner tonight?
No,
No, dang. Well,
Here's
leftovers.
the thing. I haven't experimented with that ever. Oh, I do have a mute button. I can mute you. I'm not gonna. I do
Don't
have
be
the
afraid to
option.
use it.
I will not. I would
We,
mute myself first. 'Cause
with our
everyone's
fancy
here.
technology,
Everyone
we
is
can
now
only-
officially here for you and not for me. I'm the sideshow.
No. Well, it's hard because we're so used to doing our own thing. Like when we're guests on other channels, we have to police ourselves a little bit, which gets harder the more things that we taste. To be like, wait, this isn't our show. We're guests on this show. We're just so used to, Well, I feel that
We're
way.
certainly used to being the center of attention. It's a problem.
No, you know what I mean, though.
I do. I'm channeling my inner Bo Burnham right now, I think. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's just because I
I've
watched
been wanting to
inside.
watch this,
Oh
this
God,
new
watch it.
special.
Oh, go and watch it.
Go watch it.
Definitely. I've watched it numerous times on repeat, and I've listened to the songs numerous times.
Maybe we could watch it tonight.
Sure.
It's wonderful.
Later. When
You'll
I'm
either
in-
love it or hate it. I mean, if
I
you
think I'm
already
gonna
know
love
him, if you know
Yeah.
him and his humor, you'll be fine. But a lot of people.
I miss his didn't he start on Vine or something?
Yeah, I've been watching his vines on TikTok.
I miss
actually.
I miss his old Vines. Like I miss Vine. I
Yeah,
liked it.
there's some channel that just plays his vines on TikTok.
Stuff and whiskey.
Sounds perfect and also disturbing.
Yeah. But it's like a minute worth of them strung together, so it's really good.
near drowning stellium video incident? What did you do? Oh, that was the recent video you did, right?
Yeah, he
Oh,
like
yeah.
inhaled the whiskey on the episode that came out today.
No,
And-
it was water.
Oh, was it water? I thought it was whiskey.
I was drinking more water, as the
better
cup,
if it was whiskey.
as the glass says, and it just went down the wrong pipe. And
It was like 2 minutes of
gets
me being
cut
like-
out is like 2 minutes.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Be careful with that water stuff; it'll kill you.
And I was on an
Yeah.
emotional roller coaster, like disgusted, concerned, annoyed, happy that you survived. I don't know.
As long as he didn't start
Right.
turning blue, you're good.
The way I edited it, though, it kind of makes you look like you're just annoyed.
I mean,
I
it's
cut
not an
out-
unfair depiction of me. It's not an unfair depiction.
You're like always having to be the center of attention, and then I cut to you laughing, and then I'm back. So I cut out all the like comforting, and
Yeah, of
patting
course.
on the back. Well, no one wants to see that.
I don't want them to know that I actually care.
Yeah, so you just
Suck
kind
it
of
up,
like
soldier.
I
a
know.
real bee in the
That's the-
video.
I'm sure. Well, I'm used to it. People are always like, Sarah looks so annoyed. She looks so mad. I'm like, well, fair.
That's just
I'm not.
Sarah.
We have a
It's just
question. I don't know. what
How was the
to
new
talk
Heaven Hill experience? Tim
Well,
asks.
It's a great question. When we went up, we didn't realize that they're normally closed on Mondays, which like everything in Bardstown is closed on Mondays.
The best restaurant,
Never plan a trip to Bardstown
best
if it's
two restaurants are closed. Actually,
like the best 3 restaurants are Bardstown Bourbon Company, Willet, and
Mammy's
Mammy's are
Kitchen.
all closed
Yeah,
on Sunday, which are the 3
Monday.
best places to eat.
On
But a
Sunday?
lot of them are also closed on Sunday.
right.
So definitely never plan a trip to Bardstown on Sunday and Monday.
Which we ran into a couple who was there on their anniversary, and they spent Sunday and Monday in Bardstown. So they
And-
were kind of.
Ugh.
They were like, yeah, there's really not much to do. And I'm like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Bardstown is still a small town in
Right.
Kentucky.
There's like barely any hotels there.
Yeah.
So,
It's an excuse to come
anywho,
back.
Mm.
well, I think they're building up more hotels and trying to like get, not revive that area because
The
nothing ever happened to
napification.
it. But yeah, that.
Mhm.
The
But yeah,
whiskey
so they're
boom.
normally closed on Mondays. So we thought that we would go up for the ribbon cutting and then there would be tours and the bar would be open
In the
but-
restaurant.
and the restaurant. But that was not the case. They were basically like, you can walk around and do like a self-guided tour, but no, none of that's open right now. And we were like, they're like, you can go
Take a
shop and
look. Have fun. Don't do anything.
I mean, it was cool to
Yeah.
see it, to be like, the
Once,
first to see it, but
when they're open,
we want to go back.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. They've added a couple new tours, and
I'm excited about the
the
restaurant.
bar upstairs, the restaurant, which will take a few months at least before it's open. The restaurant, that is. But the space is fantastic. They have a little theater there
They have a
that
little
plays a video.
rooftop patio.
Yeah, they have a rooftop patio. Yeah, I mean,
The tours are,
it's really impressive.
they're definitely going more of the direction of like if you've been on the Old Forester tour in Louisville, or I'm trying to think of others, like where you can kind of choose your own adventure type of a thing.
The books.
And more interactive than just like, this is where the bourbon's made, and they quiz you about what is bourbon. They take you into a rick house. You stand out there, you talk about that. You walk inside and do a tasting. Like that's not,
Well, you can still do that.
no, but I'm just saying, I feel like 5 or 10 years ago, like that's all a tour was.
Right.
And now a lot of places are, I mean, you have to do more experiential stuff because if you go on a trip to bourbon country and you do the trail, by the time you're done, if you go to 4 or 5 distilleries, you've heard that same speech 5
Right.
times. Like there's
Right.
nothing, they're trying to make it do like what's unique and special about your place. Tell us your story and all that stuff.
Yeah. In fun, creative ways.
Because I mean, when we used to do tours back in the day and like just go check places out, by the end of the 3rd one, I'd be like, I've already heard this 3 times today,
Mhm, mhm.
Mm.
which again, me being annoyed.
You can only hear a story of this is how bourbon's made.
Right.
Sometimes, if you really like bourbon or whiskey in general, like we
Yeah.
do this, and this. You're welcome.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
they'd be like, well, what makes Kentucky bourbon different? And people would be like, the water, the weather. And
But
then
for
by the time you
anyone-
go through that a few times, it's like, we get it.
For anyone who's done the Evan Williams experience, where it's more AV, audio visual type of elements, that's now incorporated more. And it makes sense because Evan Hill owns Evan Williams, but they've incorporated more of that into telling like the story of Johnny Fitzgerald and those type of things
Yeah.
around larceny and those.
Yeah. And like the whole Elijah Craig background. It's
Mhm.
cool.
And you can pour your own bottle bottle your own bottle.
A lot of places are
Label
doing
your
that
own
now
bottle.
too.
Yeah.
That sounds
Bardstown
fun.
just started that. Michter's has that now.
It's
No,
that
they
and a
have-
Rick
Now they
house.
have it.
I've never
Yeah.
actually been in a real big ass Rick house yet.
Yeah.
It's on the list. It was on the list. What was it? Last 2019? I remember
We
talking
got
to
plenty
Chad.
of them here.
Yeah,
I
we
remember
got a lot
talking
of
to
them.
Chad, asking, it's like, hey, I'm thinking about going down there at some point, and then everything happened, and that was not going to happen. It was
Of
like
course.
the end of 2019, beginning of 2020 kind of conversation, and then everything was like, nope. Okay, we're done.
Mm.
fine.
Right. Best
I'm
laid
wrestling with
plan.
my Fitbit. Yeah, everything got changed. Even with Bastards Ball last year, I had missed 2019, and I had
Mhm.
planned to go. I did actually get to visit Crowded Barrel and all that at the end of 2019, but I didn't go for Bastards Ball because I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll just go next year."
Hmm.
Yes.
There
Well,
was no next
Are
year.
you going this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We
Spoilers
will
to
see you
everyone.
there
Oh, good.
in person, face to
It'll be
face.
fun.
Yeah.
It's with real life human contact once again, which is also great and terrifying for someone of my demeanor. But it'll be fun. I'll be the guy
This
in the
will help.
corner. It will. It always does, but I always have to pace
Eagle
myself.
Rare?
No.
No, not Eagle Rare. The whiskey.
But
bourbon.
speaking of that, I am on E.
Yeah.
What should we
Where are we going next?
tell us what to do next?
Where are we going next? That feels like a weird thing. You must get to drop and give me 20. No, don't do that.
I won't do that.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd be like, what are you? Are you drunk already? You've only had one. What's the next one? Eagle Rare is 45. 45. The next one was going to be, oh yeah, the early times, which is the bottle I need to kill right now. No, definitely not right now. Later.
I was gonna say
hopefully
that's
I would be
little
on the
bit-
floor.
You'd be having some kind of a Friday.
Hopefully we don't
Yeah.
have to kill ours either.
It's like, it's the end of dry week. Let me just drink all of this. Oh, bad
Right.
idea.
I think
Don't-
we're safe from the idea of potentially killing this bottle today.
Yes. Again, this is the one I was talking about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I keep looking at it, going, "Why haven't I?" I've done that a lot.
Yeah.
I have a thing. Once the bottle gets really low, I don't want to finish it for some odd reason, especially if it's stuff that's expensive and I can't really get again.
Well, I've actually been hearing some feedback that because this is bought by Sazerac now, right? That people are having a harder time finding it, but they're surely gonna rebrand it, right?
I would think so, yeah.
You would think so. I think they're just having a hard time finding it because they're not making any more of this one anymore.
Right.
Because people are like, now the Buffalo Trace bought it. I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, I don't
No.
think
No.
that's happened yet.
Not exactly.
I have
How
to
it
do a
works.
quick plug for Whiskey Mountain.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yes, do it.
Mhm.
It's going at the bottom now. For anyone who doesn't know, there's going to be fun stuff tomorrow.
It's Sunday. The 20th is Sunday.
Sunday. What day is it?
Not
Okay.
tomorrow, but the
Soon.
next day
Soon.
I think it's
I might not even have the
before
right
or
time.
After our live.
after our
After our live.
It's right
Okay.
after our live.
So yeah,
Yes.
okay. I'll have my thing Sunday. You'll go live, and then I'll go see
Yeah.
that after.
So that means this Sunday we will be ending promptly
Promptly.
at 9, so everyone can switch over
On
to
the
Whiskey
dot.
Mountains.
Because we'll be switching
And-
over too.
Again,
Yeah,
just to remind
exactly.
people, we're putting up our newest, I guess technically as of today, it's not our newest, but one of our newest barrel picks. It's our most expensive barrel pick. Yeah, the 4-Gate, 8-year rye finished in toasted barrels.
That's a
That
prize.
is will be our contribution to her channel, and I see that she's in the chat here, so
Mhm.
that'll
made me
be
think of it.
part of it. Yeah.
We're very excited
Mm-hmm.
to put it out
However,
there.
I did have the little scrolly thing lined up. Oh God, I've had it since she visited. She was on the stream 2 weeks ago, and we geek out a lot about Star Trek stuff because we both are Star Trek nerds, and we do that on Scotch down into his channel not every Saturday, but occasionally on Saturdays.
I love how Mama KillCo is cracking the whip. She's like 33 watching and only 15 thumbs
Oh,
up.
yes,
Just saying.
yes. That's about right.
I love the support. Love to see it.
Yeah.
We need to.
I don't have hell of
about
a
that.
plans.
Yeah.
Yes, Mom wants me to be famous, so
Aw.
working on it.
Moms are the best. So supportive. I had to call my mom today to ask her. We have a pick coming up later this summer that requires you to have a DD because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And so I was like, who are we going to find that wants to go on the barrel pick but not drink? Like, no one's going to want to do that. And I was like, wait, my mom's retired and she hates whiskey. This is perfect. And it's
That's
like
the
right
thing.
next to her hometown. So she was like, absolutely, I would love to.
Yeah, my mother doesn't drink at all alcohol.
Found
so-
our DD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you have the
That-
DD forever.
No, that's the only reason I visited 7 distilleries in 2 days when I was in Texas. Only
Wow.
reason. There's no other way I could have done that.
Yeah.
They're just the best.
Yes. Oop, stuff going on. Oh, I will switch. I will leave this rolling. I gotta find a question. Are there any questions? No. Famous like my mother, yes. I'm not good at
What is
asking. When it's like I have to ask a
love
question, my
her.
brain goes, I'll think. Oh, there we go. We just switched to what did we just early time? Early time.
Early time.
Early times. I have to say,
I'm feeling it more.
I'm feeling it more, and it might be that 10 points of proof, but I don't know. I don't know. Whatever
It's
the
got,
reason, it's a little fuller.
it does taste a little fuller. There's like a little bit of a dry bitterness on the finish, but I think it also has some like milk chocolatey notes on the front that I like a lot. And yeah, it just feels fuller or richer in some way. And again, I mean, we've had that bottle of Eagle Rare for a while and it's
Yeah.
been sitting about halfway. So
Well, it's just a good change of pace. I feel like very, very rarely, unless we're doing like a themed
very, very
live.
Eagle Rarely.
Very, very Eagle rarely. Double Eagle rarely. Very rare.
You wish.
Yeah, I wish. Unless we're doing like a themed live or something, do we stick with one distillery? Like, I think especially, not to call them out, but I think, Buffalo Trace with that through line grapey note that we've even seen in like, Pappy, it is good to kind of like have that, experience that, and move on to another distillery where, you're going to get their profile and it just makes the night more enjoyable. Little variety, spice of life, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard that it is.
I've been finding I do tend to like Buffalo Trace stuff, and I'm like, hey,
It's a blessing and a curse then.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right.
think it was what was it? E.H. Taylor? It had to be. E.H. Taylor was donated by Stanley Wagner last December, and the whole thing's gone now. But I tried to make it last as long as I can or could because it's not something I've seen on the shelf very easily. And I was like, oh, I like Buffalo Trace stuff. Damn it!
It's tough to come by,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I had seen it, but not anymore.
I remember a day.
So we've been chatting a lot because, like, just being in Kentucky doing what we do, we get a lot of questions that don't really make any sense when people, like friends or family, are looking for bottles of bourbon and they're not really sure what they want, but they're just like, I like Blanton's and I want a bottle that's like Blanton's, but really hard to find, but under $75, and I need it by tomorrow. And
But I want it to taste like
But I
Blanton's
want it to.
also.
It should taste like Blanton's, but not Blanton's. But very rare. But also, I need it by tomorrow. And I'm like,
And I have
for
$70.
$75. I'm like, you want what? This bottle doesn't exist. So we're like, in this Venn diagram of whiskey, you're never gonna find like price, availability, and like rareness. It just doesn't exist. That center.
Nope.
You're not. You can have two of the three, right?
Yeah, pick two. Can't have all three.
Because you can go to a local bottle shop and buy a bottle of Blanton's tomorrow for $150 if that's what you want to do.
If you really
But
want,
you said you have $75, so we're not getting Blanton's. Well, then it's not going to be rare. It might taste similar to Blanton's and it might be in your budget, but it's not going to be rare.
Yeah. And despite the fact that Blanton's isn't rare,
yes,
it's just not.
It's allocated.
It's not in circulation.
Right.
We should
there
say.
has
But-
there's a curse laid upon Blanton's, and somehow it has become hard to find. And some people say it's not that great. Some people say it's amazing. It's
It's
an interesting
fine.
little. It's like a social experiment. It's
Sure.
Yeah,
seeing it happen.
it's fine.
I understand why people like it. I think
The
though,
horse.
it would be
Everyone likes
really
the horse.
important for people who think that they really like it and are debating going after it or paying, higher prices for it. I would really encourage them, if they do get a bottle, to do blind taste tests
I found
because
it. I can
I
see you
just
guys
think-
like Blanton's.
show it. Oh, little baby Blanton's.
This is it.
I think we
Yeah.
have one of those for our like holiday tree. We do like the bourbon ornaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was also donated, and this is all I've gotten so far.
Cute.
But I got it. Oh, I couldn't find it because it's so tiny.
The Blanton's is like one of the number one reasons why I'm a fan of blind taste tests, because you always get people being like, well, I love Blanton's.
Yeah.
And then you give them a blind taste test. Didn't you do that with the Buffalo Trace lineup once? Or was it?
I did that for my buddy's wedding because he was getting married at Buffalo Trace. So he was only carrying Buffalo Trace products at the bar. And I was in the wedding as a groomsman. And so we went over there to try Buffalo Trace products to narrow it down. And I said, well, hey, let's do a blind. And everyone then proceeded to tell me what their order's going to be. Well, I'm going to pick Blanton's first. So I'm going to pick, and then they put, Ancient Age at the bottom, of course. And they were all wrong.
They all picked Ancient Age, right?
4 out of 6 picked Ancient Age first. And then Blanton's was like somewhere in the middle usually.
Yeah, that sounds about
right. But at
right.
the end of the day, I want to know, how did they what was their choice for the bar? Knowing that blind, they picked the Ancient Age. Did they still choose the Blantons? Because people just...
I think there was a couple bottles of Blantons at the bar, but I think Buffalo Trace was like the most number of bottles.
Because that's what's so funny to me about doing blinds is when you reveal the results, it's like you're
people
the one...
They
deny it. I'm like, but you're the one who just told me that the one that you thought you were going to put in first, you put in third. And it costs more and it's harder to find. And you're telling me that you're still not going to go with what you picked blind, because they're so attached and they want to defend it so bad.
Your bourbon reputation card. You're like, I don't want someone to come up and take my bourbon card away because I said in a blind I picked Ancient Age over Blanton's. I don't want them to think that I'm not good at bourbon. That's not a thing. You can't be good or bad.
In my mind, it's a good thing to get, to learn that about yourself. Be like, oh, I had no idea I like that. Let me try other stuff that they've done.
Don't put it on yourself. Put it on the products. Be like, well, maybe this isn't all it's chalked up to be, or maybe this over here is more than it's chalked up to be.
Right.
Maybe it's a sleeper.
Yeah, I consider it a win if you were to pick something like, for example, Ancient Age or whatever. If you were to put something that's easier to find and less expensive in first place in a blind, I think that's a win because you just found what you like the best, and it's going to save you trouble and money.
And your wallet will thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
I was lucky enough to have a blind recently about, what was it? Not recently. It was like months ago. Anyway, I had a blind sent to me, and it's one of the only ones I've done so far where I found out. That was how I found out I liked Eagle Rare. I'd never had it before. And then it was in the lineup of other things. I wasn't even sure what the hell they were. And that one came on top. So it was like, oh, great. Now I can go see if I can try that. And I try to have a bottle all the time now just because it's something I like to go to.
Ooh.
See, Brett.
I just got an idea for a business model.
Brett's
it would be really hard to do.
Ancient Age 90 right now. Nice. So there you go. What?
I would be really hard to do. And I'm going to share this out loud right now for fun.
Copyright Bourbon Night 2021.
It would be really hard to do because of like the TTB and all the labels and liquor licenses and stuff like that. But if you can do like a mystery blind flight box where you would take a quiz and you would say like, I like things to be in this proof. I like these are bottles I'm familiar with.
That already exists.
It exists? Yeah. What is it?
Yeah. Like Flaviar.
Oh, Flaviar. No, it would be Chad and Sarah's mystery.
No, that's the difference. That's what makes it
and it would
better.
come from our collection.
I'm still waiting for you guys to make that bed and breakfast. I'm waiting for it. It's maybe.
We're
I don't know. Let's at least
maybe.
We do daydream a lot and we talk about it a lot. The whole business plan is more, I guess, neither of us have ever put one together before, so we're kind of feeling that out. We're also very confused about how does one get an investor? Like, how do you just go up to someone and say, hello, may I have some money?
I'm sure. Well, I know KillCo. By the way, I'm always going to call you KillCo just because
His name is Brian.
I know that, but I don't ever see myself calling
Here's the thing. If people actually go back to some of my earlier videos, I used to call myself Mr. K all the time because one, it worked for Mr. T. 2, because no one can actually pronounce my last name easily. And you pity the Brian's. And what?
Yeah. And you pity the fool.
You pity the fool.
Yes, and I do pity the fool.
Who questions your whiskey knowledge.
Yeah. Yes. But no, I know you know this, KillCo, but there's a little channel out there called the Whiskey Vault, and they said no. And after all their people were saying, make a distillery, they said, okay, if we can raise this on Patreon, we will. And boom, they did, and then it happened. So maybe
your dreams came true.
Well, our problem is we don't know what that number would be. But maybe one day we'll say, okay, if we hit this, boom, Kentucky bed and breakfast. You can come stay with Chad and Sarah, and we'll plan your weekend, and Sarah will cook you breakfast
and make you a cocktail.
Make you a cocktail,
There you
and there you go. I don't know.
That would be fun.
It does sound like the dream right there.
Yeah.
And there will be, and it's bourbon night candle burning in every room. No, you can't do that it's a fire hazard.
Well, at least the bathroom.
At least in the bathroom.
You can design your own bar for that matter. That'd be crazy.
And that's what we were talking, like an event space where people could do group tastings and have parties and stuff. I think weddings we would want to stay away from. I love how we're talking about this. Like
we would just price them so high to where if someone did book one, be like,
it would be worth our
just made a crap ton of money. Otherwise,
man,
who wants to?
My brain immediately went to like a honeymoon package for just the honeymooners, no one else, just them.
Yeah, you can come for your honeymoon.
Yes,
or you can have your like not reception, but rehearsal, or like a bachelor party tasting. I don't even know if I want to deal with that though. That's
I would not. As soon as you said bachelor party, my whole body went.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
You will wake up on the roof. Disoriented, and I don't know.
I would just make them sign something crazy, like if you do any of the following things or anything that's deemed inappropriate, here are the penalties.
If you do anything from the popular movie series The Hangover, you will void your deposit. Yeah,
basically. Trying to keep up with chat, it's impossible.
Oh, it's I mean,
all right.
Well, I know for you guys, it's absolutely completely impossible.
Cindy says, don't come on Sunday or Monday, though. See, that should be our thing, though. We're open on Sundays and Mondays.
Open on Sundays and Mondays. In fact, those are our best days.
Because no one has anywhere else to go.
That's right.
In Bourbon Country, everything's closed.
There you go. You figured out the whole premise right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sundays and Mondays.
Now, just raise all the money, get the business plan together, have a designer, a real estate agent.
Yeah, my brain went through all of that, and I was like, no, I'm not. I can barely function at all. So trying to build an actual bed and breakfast, not a thing. I thought about originally my idea for doing this when I started even thinking of it as an actual thing was to do like whiskey tastings with people in person, and 2020 again, just like no,
in-person events.
Here's this thing called Zoom. Get used to it.
Zoom, and there's
Zoom.
this. I mean, this is what I kind of defaulted to is doing SteamYard stuff, and I think Zoom. That was the other thing we used occasionally, which was good because I got to see my parents and brother for Thanksgiving and stuff. That was nice.
I'm like, if I was Skype, I would be so pissed off. Like, we've been around forever,
right?
And here comes this company called Zoom, and everyone's on it.
I just
like their functionality must be easier or something. I don't know.
Yes, it was bizarre. I actually the nice part about Skype in my brain now is that my friend who lives in Missouri, he had a child at the very start of 2020, and not long out, things went blah, and I was lucky enough to get to see his kid and be introduced to him in some weird way via the internet over Skype because that's the only thing we both had. We're like, we still have this. That's a thing. We'll use that. It was funny.
Okay, I didn't know where that story was going because the way
it goes to lots of places.
You put the emphasis on had a child and now they can't find it. I was like, what happened?
Well, I mean, they actually, they're parents now, that kind of thing. And what a horrible time to actually have a kid at a hospital. It's like, hey, by the way, pandemic enjoy.
During a global pandemic,
absolutely,
you're going to bring a human into the world. Super scary, I would say.
A lot of people did it.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good on them.
Terrifying.
They didn't know. I mean, they couldn't plan for it.
Well,
there's going to be a whole generation of people eventually. It's like, I was born during the pandemic. It's like, oh, God, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Our neighbors,
Jin P.
They had a baby during, I think she was born in the fall. And they were walking the other day. I went outside and saw them on the sidewalk, and she looked at me and I was like, hi. She's like maybe 7 months old, just starts crying. They were like, yeah, she's a pandemic baby. She's not cool with other people. I was like,
that's like me.
What do you think about it? I mean, she's only 6 months old. The rest of her life is going to be filled with people, so they'll get over it. But she was just like, absolutely not. Who are you?
Yes, what you're taller and your hair is long. I don't
understand. I mean, that's how I feel when I see new people all the time.
You cry?
I cry.
I was going to say that's my way of dealing with any kind of social situation. I just burst into tears and run away. Right. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It tends to stop any questions.
Your default mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I ward off predators.
What's next for us?
What is next? It's okay. I'm fine.
I feel like it's going to be
4 Roses.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was loud.
Or
Sorry.
yours. I'm sorry. 4 Roses small batch select, which is a whole different
Got
thing
you.
apparently.
It
By
is
the
a little
price.
different.
By the price.
Yeah, it's got select after it.
So it's got to be worth a few dollars more.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour me this time.
Well.
There you go.
You've been getting a little excited about
I
that.
have another. It's fine, honey. We don't need to worry about it. This is someone else's stream.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
It's
Whoops.
hilarious.
We don't even have to hit the stop streaming button.
Great.
I know. We're really just along for the ride. This is nice.
I might just even leave the camera on when we walk away.
Well, nothing.
It's-
Literally nothing would happen. Maybe they'll see.
Don't
our
worry.
vote.
I would
Maybe.
remove you from the thing, and they would just be me. No worries.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Kindness.
Did we just stumble upon an idea? Should we have a 24-hour
No.
webcam running on the Bourbon Library to
Yes,
see,
people just staring at your whiskey. It's like, oh god.
see if there's any spirits in the spirits?
Hopefully not. I live in a very old building. If there are any spirits here, I would know about it. Other
And
than
occasionally you would, I'd forget there's a camera on and I'd walk down and you'd see me looking and like scratching my ass, and
Mhm.
that probably wouldn't be good.
If they were lucky, you'd be in your pajamas. If not, well,
Yeah. They're real lucky, it wouldn't be in anything.
exactly.
Ew. Time for some nude whiskey.
Oh,
The
gosh.
human body
I
is a
hear
beautiful
fingers,
thing.
too.
Right. What was it?
Wow, this is getting out of hand.
It always does. With me, I just talk. for
No,
2
no,
hours.
you're fine. This one,
Out of hand, but
he hasn't eaten,
in
so.
glass. Yeah, empty stomach here.
Yep.
Which
And
state
apparently, you're bordering on a Perry pour.
is that? Come on. Very coarse.
No, it's to here.
Perry Park
You're-
twice that much.
Oh, it's when the
It'll
glass.
have to be at least 3 times
It's
the
when
size.
the glass starts
Hmm.
getting thinner.
Yeah,
That's-
when the glass starts to go back inwards.
And I don't know about you all, but I don't want to drink that much of one thing.
I'm the same way.
I want
like
to
to
drink
dabble.
this and then go to something else. And if I want to come back to this, I'll come back to it. But I want to like do variety. I don't want to be locked into one thing for this much.
Brian, can I ask you to put the Bourbon Ranches comment up? Because, oh my God.
What? Where?
This one.
No.
Oh, wait.
The Bourbon Ranch.
The
Where
very
is it?
latest.
Where is it? Oh, I'm
Big
looking at
Brother
it
and
alone.
Bourbon Edition. That's hilarious.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad he did.
Yeah, but Trev, you have on the captain's hat,
Trev, you can't say that around me.
and I wouldn't have. Well, I would have the cap on.
Oops. God damn it, it moved.
I will take his glass away if I have to.
You wouldn't hit someone with glass, would you? Glasses.
That was
I'm
a
going with
terrible joke.
No, it was really time tested.
It was very bad.
No, it was great. Everyone loved it. Yeah, 6 of the 10 recipes here in this small batch
Mhm.
select.
You know, it's weird. Some days I sip this and I'm like, yes, this is for me. I like this. And other days I'm like, no, I really just want, I really feel like my best Four Roses choice is going to be, and this is obviously stupid to say, but like a barrel proof single barrel
The 2014 LE.
No.
It's really- it's
like a
that
high
about
rye barrel proof Four Roses.
35%er.
Yeah, those are, but they're really hard to find. So
Nowadays.
now they used to be so easy.
Yeah,
I
I
miss
don't
it
mind
so much. Ugh, we've only done one of those picks, and you've done 2. I've done only 1,
Yeah.
and I'm very sad because I don't think we'll ever get to do another one ever again.
I got
first
introduced.
ever was that.
I got introduced into Four Roses by the single barrel picks, so that was kind of a weird thing. I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then eventually, it was this last February. Valentine's thing. I grabbed 3 of their Four Roses. 3.
3 of the 4.
3 of them.
Get the
3
last
of them
one?
to make a dozen
That last
roses. And I had like the yellow label, the small batch, and then I think it was this one. So there was no comparison to the other 2. I did enjoy the small batch though. Like I would pretty much buy that and just have it because it's good.
Small batches.
That and chocolate chips. Forget
Very
about
good.
it. It's so good.
So this one I think has, like today, I'm not feeling it as much. It's got some chocolate to it, but I also get some medicinal notes. I think that's like a herbal, almost like an anise.
Is that how you're saying it now? Because other people do. So we used to say anise.
Anise,
Have you
anise,
switched?
whatever.
I'm
Everyone
gonna
knows
stick,
what it is.
I'm gonna stick
Pronunciation is clearly a vital part of our society. We must say.
I'm gonna stick with the niece.
It's very herbal, kind of
Occasionally
licorice.
a nephew.
Anywho, I'm getting that on this. Sometimes like the extra floral notes and Four Roses can go that way. And
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling it today. Today, it's not what I crave.
You know what's interesting about Four Roses? I mean, among many things, is that their yellow label, which I guess now you have to call tan label since they changed it a couple years ago, is that their 80 proofer, in other words, is it's all 10 recipes. And you got to think that's more work to make all 10 recipes and put those into a batch and batch them and proof it down to 80 than it is to make this or the regular small batch or, of course, the single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
But that's their least expensive product. But it has all 10 recipes in it.
Yeah.
Does that blow anyone else's mind?
Well, I think the way, though, that it works for them is because they're more expensive products, right? Like are dedicated to 6 or what's the small batch? I don't
3.
remember 3. So then they've got. I mean, the nice thing about Four Roses yellow label.
Where's a 4? I think it's 3.
I don't know. The nice thing about Four Roses yellow label is it doesn't say an equal parts of all 10. It just says all 10. So if you've got some extra of this or some extra of that won't really work for, the small batch and the small batch select and aren't really in the place where you want them for the single barrel program, then you can shove them in. I mean, you can just put them in the yellow label. And so it's nice because it's kind of a catch-all.
I don't even know.
Where's the proof? Like it just has to, watering down.
Right, as long as they blend all 10, some ratio of all 10.
Some ratio, yeah.
And then water it down, then basically it's a catch-all for barrels that they need to do something
all the leftover parts.
Right, yeah. I mean,
they're using the whole...
It's hot dogs.
They're using the whole...
Four Roses yellow label is the hot dogs of...
There we go.
There's no part...
And we've come full circle.
There's no part of a bourbon animal that doesn't get used.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like, though, how we've circled back to hot dogs.
Hot dogs. Hot dog water.
That's exactly how it always works here. We always have a smooth transition from one thing to another. That doesn't happen at all.
What was that Limp Bizkit album? Starfish, chocolate starfish, and the hot dog flavored water.
I'm gonna give you this because I don't want it.
Oh, okay.
Don't like it.
It's just not. If I'm gonna drink it today, I want it to be good.
Well, I kind of feel like in general that's Four Roses because we found in Blind Flights,
have to be in the mood.
Changes. The Four Roses stands up so differently against other whiskeys, and I feel like just we were drinking early times right before it. That's Brown Foreman, but a different mash bill. It's like the early times mash bill, and like if we had something before this, you would probably feel differently. I feel like Four Roses products in general react more differently perhaps than any other whiskey out there, depending on what you have next to it.
I agree.
I'm waiting for it to go wrong at some point. I've been lucky getting the single barrels that I have and just enjoying the hell out of them, drinking them far faster than I intend to. But so far, no real, oh gosh, this isn't quite the same kind of thing, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what I said earlier.
Select.
Hot dog water is kind of what I said earlier about the, Buffalo Trace thing, how, unless that's your theme, I might not want to stick with all Four Roses product or all Buffalo Trace products all night. Four Roses, I kind of wouldn't mind it because there's such a difference when you're jumping from recipe to recipe.
I did find that really interesting about Four Roses. I think that's one of the things that kind of dragged me.
Yeast strain to yeast strain. Yeah.
We were actually fortunate enough to be able to go to a local Four Roses dinner at a bar who had done a barrel pick of all 10 recipes.
Oh, man.
So they did like a food pairing and then all 10 recipes, and Brent Elliott walked you through all of them. And it was really cool because I don't know. I mean, I think I've tasted at least 8 of the 10 before at a Lexington Bourbon Society event, but we did. I really hadn't sat down and thought about side by side what is my favorite recipe. You preferred the OE.
This night I did, and here I really thought that I was the high rye.
I'm OB all the way.
But I was really digging. Of course, again, these were picks.
Right, they're all picks. So some, you got flexibility there, but
yeah, you got to kind of put a little asterisk by it. But that night, I was all about the OEs.
The E's. Yeah.
E's versus the B's.
I like the bees. OBSV is what, in my mind, I thought was my favorite going into the night. And when I left, it was still,
Still true.
Still true, which is nice. I like to be right.
Yeah.
I still have so many whiskeys to try. It's incredible. Like I say, I seem to like Buffalo Trace stuff, and then part of me is like, you haven't had them all. How do you know? You're right. I don't. I have to try them all.
Anything in
goals.
particular you're still after?
I mean, not off the top of my head.
No,
like, I know I like E.H. Taylor. I'm okay with the Buffalo Trace itself. What else
about Elmer?
I probably never had Elmer.
Okay.
Personally, it's not my jam. I think it can get a little earthy. And I guess it really depends on the bottle that you have, but the ones that I've had most recently have just come off very earthy to me. And then I don't know. It kind of tastes like sweet dirt.
I hope someday we do something. So you said earth, it made my brain go. But there is something I pick up in some whiskeys, and I can't quite nail down what it is yet. I got it on, specifically, I'm thinking of Evan Williams Bottle and Bond. There's something about it that I've started picking up in other bourbons, but I don't know exactly what it is, which is infuriating because you want to say, oh, this is in this as well. But
I mean, that's kind of earthy, and it's
but I think
a peanut note, and
I think there was something that we were talking about this week, actually, that I feel like is prevalent in a lot of things that we try when we think like, are they nutty? But he said peanut husk, and it's almost like it's not a peanut, but it's like that outside dusty, crackly.
You're walking through a Logan's, and everyone is stepping on peanut shells,
and it's in the air.
Particulate is in the air,
but it's like,
and that's kind of what you taste.
And it's musty, but not like cardboard. It's musty in that particular way. And I really feel like Heaven Hill products, and we always talk about Jim Beam as having that, but I think a lot of Heaven Hill products pick that up too, and it's because of the malted barley content, right?
I think for those,
that's what they attribute it to.
Yeah. Maybe it's something like that. When you said peanut husks, I was like, maybe I would have to try it again.
Peanut shell, I guess.
Shell. I said husk.
Common
shell.
I've never called it a peanut husk before.
The husk of a
peanut. But it's like corn husk, the outside, right?
Yeah.
But probably my brain was like husk. I'm like, no, it's not that. But okay, say it anyway. That's how my brain works. Just random words. Should we move on to the final one? Because I'm looking at time frame wise, and I know we did. We have a bunch, but
yeah, apparently I'm gonna have to feed him soon.
Yes,
soonish.
Oh man,
if you can get him upstairs.
Oh well, you know.
Unless you want Chaz to make.
I actually have firemen carried him up before, so it'll work.
It's like Tough Mudder.
That's why you do squats. In case you ever have to carry Chad up a flight of stairs.
I feel a little bad because no one can.
I do like to remind him. I'm like, if I had to save you in a fire, I could.
There you go. I've often had that thought. It's like, if is the person I'm with, can I actually carry them? I have no idea. I sure hope so, in case something horrible happens. Yeah, sorry. It's nice and cool.
It's very cool.
It is cool. It's nice.
But yes, we have your Knob Creek score pick a mash made in heaven. See if that actually.
Now this one I'll have a.
And there's a nice little the signature and a little note at the bottom. I don't remember what it said.
Yeah.
You did call me KillCo here.
That's my handwriting.
Oh, there you go.
We didn't write Brian. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't even call myself Brian. It's Starbucks. I actually have it as Mr. K still because there are too many freaking Brians. There are too many Brians.
Because if you say Brian, they're going to be like with an I or a Y, and you're just like, you know what, Mr. K.
That is just the bane of my
existence.
existence.
Because when I say Sarah with or without an H, I'm like, does it really matter though? Because you're just going to call my name in 2 minutes.
I jokingly say like all Bryans with the Y are my arch nemesis. Basically, they aren't.
I think this has peanut husk on it.
You would get it, and it would say brain, which I am completely guilty of. Brian Brenicky of calling him Brain Brenicky, which I think is a compliment.
He was here earlier.
Brain, are you here, Brain?
He was.
Brain, I saw
Brain.
I actually my very first office.
Brian, are you here, Brian?
What we doing? It's not Brain.
My very first office job, my boss, like top of the company boss.
Gee, Brain
was a Brian, and I couldn't tell you the number of times in an email I wrote Brain.
It's a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. Once we are both incorrectly called things, and also we have brains. So,
there's Brain.
Peanut shells on this though.
Brain. This I was gonna say. This is our quarantine bottle. So the ones that we keep for ourselves, we make sure to sign and label because these will one day become a candle that you can buy. whiskeyambitions.com. But
whenever Chad learns how to use the water saw, or teaches me, actually.
Yeah.
I just really need to learn how to use water saw.
This is called the quarantine bottle because we opened it on 8/15/2020. So it won't focus on it because we have faces.
That's right. There you go. That's good.
Yeah, there we go. It's not very well lit, but yeah.
I like
So
I
one
like
day,
the artwork.
But I'm pretty well lit.
a candle. Well, yeah.
We're fine. Everything's okay. We're professional
We're doing fine. It's
whiskey
fine.
tasters. We've done this
International.
many times.
.com. Little story on this. This was our first ever official It's Bourbon Night pick. We'd been on picks before
That's
with
why I want to save it forever.
liquor stores and groups and so forth. But as far as
Like our very own.
It's Bourbon Night, this is our very first pick. It was 2019.
It came in like 2 days before our wedding.
2 days before our wedding, we wanted to have this on our wedding bar. We
'Cause
like
a mash made in heaven.
advertised it.
Yeah.
That's why we called it a mash made in heaven. Is because
Also because of Tammy Brennicky.
because of the brilliant
The Brennickies.
Tammy Brennicky and Brain Brennicky.
Don says he still has his.
Awesome, Don, you in here?
Don, what up, Don?
Don. And yeah, it came in 2 days before the wedding. We didn't think we were gonna have it on our wedding bar, but we did,
God.
and it was just meant to be. And
My
it's
brain went to a weird place.
awesome. Your Brian went to a weird place.
My brain went to a weird place. But you were like, you're talking about how you got it, it was your first and you got it right before your wedding. And it's like, oh, it's your first child that you had before your wedding. That's
I mean, it basically,
We had it. We were so close to getting married, and then it came 2 days early.
yeah, it did. No, we
But it's
really did.
wonderful.
We picked it in April. We picked it actually on April Fool's Day, and it took
Nice.
until September
19th, probably 20th.
19th, yeah, to get there.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, I
It was
forget
a
how
relief.
good this is.
it's
Right?
very nutty.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, we still have a couple of these tucked away because it's a sentimental bottle for us because our first pick. I mean, yeah.
I hope to get on a pick someday, and I just hope to go to a distillery in Kentucky. So there's that as well. But as far as picks go, I don't even know. That's so far fetched from anything I would ever do.
Well,
I don't know.
they've changed so much because of 2020.
A lot of things are virtual now.
I hope they get back to the way we were.
But I will
Scattered
say,
pictures.
for us,
okay.
oh, you were going to keep going.
Yeah.
For us in Kentucky, we want things to go back to in person, obviously, for picks because we can just drive an hour and be there. But I think like if you're ever thinking about doing one or partnering or anything like that, the virtual ones, a lot of companies now have a virtual program because they had to over last year. And I
Yeah.
feel like that would actually work out better for you because they'll just ship out samples.
Ooh, how nice. So yes,
And
I'm
you do it
thinking
that
of
way,
doing
I
a barrel pick. Just send me the samples and I can maybe do something.
And that's what they do, though, which I mean is great for people who aren't located here. We're fortunate, to be able to drive. I think we forget that sometimes that
We're within about an hour
we'll
radius.
just get
of,
on the highway and we'll be there in an hour.
Probably 95% of all the major Kentucky distilleries.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's fine.
I mean, it is. No, but we admit it. We are.
I'm certainly spoiled for stuff like clam chowder, I guess. And what was it?
Oh,
Calamari? I guess.
out.
That sounds really good.
Yeah,
I think I'm hungry.
Clam
Me and
chowder.
my
The whiskey
father-
doesn't help. The whiskey doesn't help the hunger. This is when I usually get in trouble and we order Wendy's.
Yes.
That sounds good right now. Jets.
No. You can have
There's-
Jets. You have a gift card. I will be having
that gift card
baked
is
salmon and
long
squash.
gone.
Okay, well, I will be having baked salmon and
That's
squash.
a figment of my Brian right now.
Figment of your bride.
Yeah.
There's definitely a Wendy's about 5 minutes away. I could technically walk there. I'm not going to, but I could.
I
You
do
know what we
like,
saw?
I do like Wendy's.
Speaking of the TikTok, and I know no one was talking about it, but
Nobody was.
Speaking-
we saw on TikTok a Wendy's that was rebranded as Morty's.
Because they are in partnership with Rick and Morty's and Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty's?
You know what I mean? It was called Morty's. Wendy's does ads with Rick and Morty, and
God.
the show is coming back soon. I can't remember when.
Like next month.
I think it's next month. So they did a takeover, and I'm sure it's in some crazy market like, I don't know, like San Francisco or Austin or something. But they rebranded it, and it's just called Morty's, and in some Morty's face with the little pig tits.
Nice.
If you watch Rick and Morty, then that would all make sense. Yeah, that chicken biscuit, he's a real bruiser.
Chicken biscuit, Morty. Oh, the chicken biscuit, Morty.
No, don't do the burping. I hate it.
We're all talking
I
about
hope
food
that you
now.
watch it, because otherwise this makes no sense.
I am aware of it. I haven't actually. Here's the thing. I haven't watched television of any sort in about 10, 15-ish years. I do mostly because I can't afford cable. But
it just hurts my Brian.
No, but part of it is I studied graphic design kind of stuff, and I learned a lot about how to manipulate people through advertisement. I wasn't a huge fan. And I realized commercials were that thing, and it's like, oh God, I'm just cutting this out of my life. I can't deal. I hate advertisement now. Why did I do this to myself?
Fair.
Well, you can always fast forward through.
That's the thing now. I know.
I also want to cut cable.
Streaming,
we don't even watch cable. Like, we just watch subscription based
I do.
stuff.
I defaulted to like Netflix and those kind of things, like Disney Plus and all that. No commercials. It's fine. It's
literally
great.
the only thing we watch on cable is Jeopardy.
There you go.
Which makes us really old. Like, I will time dinner being done so that Jeopardy's coming on. And that's it. That's all I want to watch.
I still want to see LeVar Burton host Jeopardy. I'm not quite sure why. That's the thing.
Yes. Would love it.
I don't know how this topic made it into the chat, but Devin is saying that he's cracked the code to Red Lobster's biscuits.
Me too.
Cheddar Bay biscuits?
It's Bisquick, or like that mix. Cheddar cheese. And then I think it's just like milk and salt and pepper.
Okay.
I'm sure if you put buttermilk in them, they'd be even better. But it's that, because that's the secret to the texture, Bisquick, or whatever is that equivalent of mix.
Okay.
Am I right?
Flour in it.
Let me know if I'm right.
I know very little about cooking. Apparently I was okay at baking, but that requires a lot more focus, and
baking is very much about the measurements. Yeah,
it's all science and math.
It is very sciencey.
It's just following the directions.
I need to work more on my
that's true.
Yeah, it's very IKEA of it.
Yeah, basically.
I can make cookies and cupcakes. So I know.
Like, I love both cooking and baking, but I really like cooking because I just will get an idea for a recipe, and I'll like Google how long does it take to cook this thing, and then I'll just be like, okay, now I just know I have to put it in the oven for this much time. I can do whatever else, like seasonings wise, I do whatever you want to it, and then put it in the oven, and like that's how I like to cook. I don't really want to be told.
I do get sucked down the rabbit hole of like watching Bon Appetit videos, and then Rosanna Pansino, I think it's Nerdy Nummies. Like, her baking stuff is absolutely insane.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Whiskey Mountains totally called it. I missed out on the garlic. Yeah, you brush it in garlic butter.
Well, look what Brain Brenicky said.
Brain Brenicky
said I'm being slightly traumatized by the switch into Brain. I think I need to order Jets with pineapple and ham. Delicious, the best. Take care of me.
It's a debate starter. The ham and pineapple.
Don Nishida,
I like hamburger.
Who lives in Hawaii?
Hamburger and pineapple.
Loves ham and pineapple all day. That's all he eats. Ham and pineapple pizza.
You're a liar, and he's in here, and I swear that's a California thing, not a Hawaiian thing.
The California.
I think officially, like, pizza with pineapple on it kind of thing is from Canada. I think. I don't know how I know that. Why do I know that? I could be completely wrong, but that's what's in my brain for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I don't know.
They call him
thinking that.
So I don't know.
He said all day, every day.
See, Don, you and your.
That's a stereotype.
He just calls it pizza, though.
Chad, that's a stereotype. He just calls
it pizza. Like, hello, Jets. I'd like to order a pizza. They said one pizza with ham and pineapple coming up.
Please stop saying pizza, because I'm getting really hungry.
Yeah, the joys of alcohol. My father has the problem. I have the problem. You start drinking, you're like, this is great. I'm having such a wonderful time. Someone send me 2 pizzas. Just for me. Just for me.
I should probably eat 2 pizzas. The Joey special right now.
Just be certain. Make sure one has pineapple on it. No reason why.
That's how I know when I've gone too far is when, like, things that I wouldn't eat normally during the day start to sound good. Like, I'll be...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I have a bad habit of just randomly saying, I want tacos for no absolute reason. It's just this random.
It's not a bad habit. It's an awesome.
I feel like it's kind of a universal thing. You can go anywhere and talk to anyone and just be like, God, I want tacos. And everyone's like, yeah, tacos.
Like good tacos.
Yes, not like Taco Bell. Authentic, actual decent tacos from a nice
good tacos.
But
who doesn't want?
But in a pinch.
No.
Taco Bell.
No, Chad. No.
What if it's made out of a Dorito?
That's up to you. You do whatever you want to your body.
Yeah, that's basically what that is. You want to eat Taco Bell?
I've already accepted.
Yes and no.
Statistically, I should live longer than you.
Oh,
I didn't make it's science. I'm not making it up.
wow.
So I've already accepted. So I'm like, whatever. If you want to eat the Doritos Locos, whatever, that's fine. I'm gonna have.
You gotta go some
Go
way.
right ahead, hon.
I'm
You
gonna have a
live your
poached
life.
egg and avocado toast. But
You live your life. It's going to be shorter than mine anyway, so you do you.
As long as you're having fun, that's fine.
Right?
I'm gonna go out with a crunch.
Yeah, it's all about having fun.
With the crunch.
We only live once. We're all doomed to death. Wait, where is this going? This is not going in a good direction now.
We got
Fine.
morbid with it.
Yeah.
This is how it goes, though.
Whiskey is the water of life. We're good. That's why
This is
we
what
drink
happens
it.
when you don't rein us in.
It's fine. I don't rein anyone in. It's
We
me
start
just
talking
going
about
like, well,
death.
this is very amusing. That's the problem. On my own streams, if I have guests, I'm like, I just listen to them. It happens on other channels. Like if I'm a guest on someone else's channel, I will mute myself and just sit there and watch. And then someone will notice. And they'll be like, let's have Brian talk. It's like, oh shit, I just did this to myself.
Now I have to talk.
It's mostly just because my mic is really, picks up almost everything. So I get really self-conscious
me.
about any kind of random noise happening while people are talking. I have noisy neighbors and the walls are like paper thin. It's great. Also apartment. So there's that. It's not a house.
You just have them on.
See, Whiskey Mountains knows what I'm talking about. I didn't make it up. And it's not that I wish you dead. I don't. I just said I don't. I just have to
I don't think she
emotionally.
meant it.
I have to emotionally and mentally prepare myself.
Okay, so you just finished watching a TV series called Why Women Kill, and
Ah.
she took notes.
Wonderful series.
It was
Mentally.
a good series.
I didn't understand the note taking though.
I mean, you do have a lot of whiskey, so
I would donate it to charity.
that's right.
That's what she calls her
his
face.
Name, in his name, most of it, not all of it.
Terrifying thought.
The rest of it we would pour out
Chad's
at
speaking
you.
right now. I'm going to give it this to this chair.
We're gonna start an organization.
This is going to my
for
friend.
that turned 21.
Bury this one with me.
Yeah,
I would do that too.
true.
All right, well, that's enough of that. I don't like to get all sentimental.
Okay.
Oh, see when you're gone. Oh, damn it.
Ew. I basically look at him and I'm like, if you leave me a mountain of trash in the garage that I have to sort through, I will never forgive you.
Yep.
I'm working on it.
He is working on it. But it's because I said no.
No, I think we all got a bit of morbid humor after 2020. We all
Sure,
had
of
that,
course.
That little bit of like, oh God, we're all human thing. It's fun. It's just how it is now.
That's
No,
true.
it's
That's
true. It's true. I mean, if you can't joke, like what is life if you can't joke?
Humor is a great, what is it? Icing or frosting to put on everything when it's just grim
Reflection.
and
Right.
horrible. Yeah. By the way,
I like
if
to
you
use
watch
it for all kinds
inside,
of things.
make sure you watch inside. That's all I can
I'm
say.
uncomfortable. Humor.
Yes. That's how I cover up my mental illness. I just talk about it and talk in this voice. It's great.
And we make jokes. And that's how we cut. And that's how
You
we're
just
like,
make this emotion and
This is-
everything's fine.
don't worry
Everything's
about
good.
it.
No one's worried, but that's okay. I'm not worried. I'm doing fine. I'm medicated.
We're fine.
Relax. Relax, people. Relax.
Just push it down.
Here's the one thing I can't tell. I can tell people, but also I get bothered by it. It's like I was watching stuff about stupid shit. I was watching someone reacting to Mr. Rogers, and they started to get upset, and I started to get upset because I love Mr. Rogers. It was one of those things.
Okay, so I'm like that too, where like I guess I have
I wish I wasn't
an
sometimes.
empath in a way of like if I'm watching a TV show that's stressful for the main character, I'll have to check myself because I'm like, why do I have so much anxiety and stress right
Heart
now? And I'm
going
like,
faster. What's
wait,
happening?
yeah, it's because I'm watching the show and I'm like internalizing what they're feeling, and then I have to remind myself that's not my life, and I don't have to. It's not even real. I don't have to worry about that. And same thing, like
I have definitely had that kind of experience where other people have told me it's like you might be pretty like seriously problematically empathic to other people. That's why you have such a hard time being around
I'll
other
look-
people.
I'll look at him and I'll be like, I don't know why, but I'm so stressed out right now, and I think it's because of this show, and like I'm feeling what they're
Oh
feeling.
yeah, we were watching the new season of Dave.
Oh,
and it
I
was
get
like,
very uncomfortable.
This is just so uncomfortable.
I said I have so much anxiety right now. Yeah. I can't watch things like that. It makes me.
great. It's good for your heart. It's like you suddenly your Fitbit's very happy. It's like,
I'm like, right? Am I doing cardio? Because my heart is racing.
Good stuff.
I have to remind myself it's not real and it's not me and I'm okay.
Yeah.
And that's why the bourbon helps with that too.
Right.
It does. Social lubricant. That's what this is.
It is a nice
And it's nice to call it the water of life because that gives a little
water. It's the water of life, right?
it's a little happy twist.
Oh, he's gonna have a little more. He's trying to kill this bottle, I think, but not tonight.
Not tonight.
God no. That's like me doing the early times. I have a problem.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, guys, it's great that you've been here. Let me just It's been a thing. That's been a thing on Whiskey Tube these days, bottle chugs.
I can't do it. I don't know how anyone my esophagus will burn. I can't do that.
I told people I will do it as soon as someone donates $1,000 to the channel. One bottle chug right away. No problem.
I respect your level because we were like early on, we were like, oh, for $100, we'll do Jaeger bombs.
Oh God, yes.
And then we started getting $100.
Well, yeah, we never thought that anyone
would do that.
And made it 500.
Our patrons were like, I'll show you.
Well, no, yeah, not even patrons.
I've had that same thing.
It was live, but it was also like Carl and Todd.
Oh, it's Carl, the legend live, yes.
Right. And then they were like, we'll punish you with Jaeger bombs every week.
If it helps, I have learned from both of you. Not, I think like $100. No one's gonna do $1,000. No one's gonna do
No one's gonna do that.
Our new thing is $500 Malort.
Oof. John Streets will do it any week.
I was thinking about Malort earlier when you said blind flights of whiskey, and my brain was like, someone would put Malort in one of those, wouldn't they?
Wow, you have trust issues too. Yeah. Look at you.
Constantly.
I would never do that. That's mean, and that's wrong. If you're doing a whiskey flight, it should be of a theme, in my opinion. There should be a purpose to it, right? It's either a distillery vertical, or it's bottles and bonds, or it's finished, or it's limited releases, or whatever, or the price point is around the same. Because I think there should be a purpose to what you're learning. It's not just a quiz.
I am doing that with a friend of mine. He had what I will call a bad experience. No, I'm giving him a flight of bourbons. I already moved them, so I can't tell you exactly what they are. But a flight of not too high proof bourbons. They're like between 40 and 50 stuff. He likes whiskey, but he's not, a whiskey person. And he had the unfortunate experience of a friend of ours who was like, "Here, try this Scotch whiskey." Can you guess which one he gave him in a shot?
Maybe what's it called? Hold on. Octomore or
it was definitely a peated Scotch, and he was completely unprepared for that.
Ardbeg.
I don't know which one it was. I just know it was a peated Scotch.
Yeah.
And he was not a fan. He got very sick after that. They'd been drinking for most of that night, so that didn't help.
Oh, yeah.
He's been very mistrustful of Scotch in general. So I'm thinking of, I'll start him out with bourbons, and I'll show him maybe a few Japanese. Actually, I'll go with Irish first and Japanese. Then I will ease him into some Scotches, and eventually start dabbling. Yeah, I want to like give him like a safety net and make him 100% aware of what I'm sending him. I even have a label maker, so it's all good.
Well, I mean,
I would love to do that for other people.
We do all of our labels.
We have a label maker.
Well, I still do them by hand because I don't want. It would take more time for me to learn the label maker. And I don't know.
Can you use a keyboard?
Yes.
Okay. A T9 text?
Okay, that's enough out of you. No, no, I think like that's kind of been our experience too. It's funny that you say that because I haven't thought about the progression like that. But I mean, obviously, we're very American whiskey focused. But if we were to go outside of that, I think Irish whiskey is obviously the next step, and then after that,
Japanese.
It's kind of a question mark because, yeah, I think Japanese whiskey, what I've tried of the two that I've tried up until this point, have very much reminded me of Scotch, but I do think that they were more palatable from my perspective. Scotch is a huge departure from bourbon, in our opinion. And like Chad has said this before, like, would you go to Scotland, go into some local bar, swing open the door and scream at everybody, "Why aren't you drinking bourbon?" No, you would never do that because that's like their space, they're Scottish. Scotch is their thing. And so when people come on our channel and they're like, "It's bourbon night, why aren't you guys drinking Scotch?" We're like, well, it's not the same, right? Because Scotland's been around a lot longer.
We're born and bred Kentuckians.
But this is what we were raised in. This is what we're surrounded by. Like, I think it kind of goes both ways. Obviously, it's not exact 1-to-1.
But it should be.
For us.
And we're raising awareness.
You're
one video
accustomed
at
to
a
your
time.
surroundings. That's all it is.
We
You're
are-
used
we
to what
are
is
very much-
nearby.
We're used to this taste, and so Scotch is very much outside of our comfort zone. And so, like, to just jump from bourbon to Scotch is not an option for us. We have to, and we've actually through the Whiskey Tribe, and the Whiskey Vault, met a lot of people who have been trying to, like Matt from
Whiskey Crusaders.
Whiskey Crusaders has been kind of trying to breadcrumb us
And wean you
lightly
in.
into Scotch, and we
Nice.
appreciate when people take that approach because you can't just throw Ardbeg at us. Like, that's happened
No.
before, and we
I
were
mean,
like, ouch.
I have a confession to make. My father and I got into whiskey via Lafroig, but it's because of Fred Minnick. Because
Oh.
my father does audiobooks, and Fred Minnick has a Whiskey Women audiobook. Link below. And
Ooh.
we worked on creating the audiobook version for him. And that, he heard things about it, and he picked up the word Lafroig, and then we started looking at restaurants and stuff for it. We tried it. I didn't hate it. It was definitely one of those, well, this is different. What else is there kind of thing. So we kind of catapulted from the craziest peated Scotch thing, but then lately, mostly due to tariffs and other things, but also money in general and availability. Like, bourbon is super available to me, and I have a sweet tooth, honestly. So I've started to default to those a lot. And again, with you guys, it's American whiskey night. Just doesn't work. It's got to be bourbon, unfortunately, for you guys. You're stuck with it forever.
I mean, but
Well,
95% of the world's bourbon is like made right around us. So.
Yeah, and I also
That's
think
it.
our channel is probably 90% bourbon, 10% American rye. Or
Yeah,
American
I was considering throwing a rye in the mix tonight, but I was like, no.
we do like a good
I want to
rye.
just start with bourbons. We'll just
might
leave
be
it at that.
85,
I think it's 85-15.
85-15 perhaps.
You need to make
yeah.
a spreadsheet, and we need a circle chart. With
We need a bit
I
diagram.
agree. We do
Yeah.
need that, actually. Yeah.
But
nice.
we like American whiskey. That's,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's the most
It's what we
familiar.
know.
I gotta point out that John said the next Halloween episode should be "It's Scotch Night," and I think that is hilarious. Like, I
But
love.
we don't want to demonize Scotch.
And I
either.
don't want to do that either. And I think there's a balance of, like, it's fun for us to try Scotch because it's very outside of our comfort zone, but I don't want to do it in a way that it's like, oh, we know we're gonna hate these, so let's do them because it's
on
like
the
a horror.
yeah, like
thing.
on the inverse, we wouldn't want to see Ralphie have a Halloween episode where he does bad bourbon. Like,
yeah.
Right.
these are so.
But that's when I would-
can't do an accent right now.
No,
I just started to do Stewie.
I did.
Brian, this is so bad.
Brain. It's brain.
Oh,
Brain.
Brain, this is so bad right
No,
now.
but I would want to find someone who we would trust to recommend some scotches that
I
actually.
immediately went to Roy from Aquavita. That was what I was thinking about. As you're
Yeah, Roy,
talking,
yeah,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
Roy and you guys
Sure.
dressed up in costumes on Halloween.
Oh, that would be so fun. But I would want something where
Yes.
we maybe do a tasting and we escalate from something that he knows that we're gonna like because it's very approachable, or it's maybe a scotch that's finished in a bourbon cask. Like, I think there's a Glenfiddich that we have that is that way, up like a step
all
up
the way up to Band-Aids.
to
Yep.
that's what Chad says. And then I think that would be fun.
Mhm.
But we also love our little game Halloween thing
yeah,
that we do. So
Mhm.
I mean, who's got to say that we can't do more than one Halloween episode in October, right?
Ralphie with Stewie's voice almost made me spit my bourbon. Says
Devin.
Devin. Is that not what he sounds like? I don't know.
No,
I've tried to do a Roy impression. I can't. Hello,
Roy,
whiskey folk.
no one can capture
I have to
Roy.
hear the
Aquavitae, for anyone who's
the sentence
not familiar.
first, and then I could make a decent stab at it.
Disagree.
But just right off the bat, I can't.
I love you very much. However, your Roy impression, that accent is a no. It's a no.
I beg to differ. Our patrons.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Our patrons will know because I did a takeoff on his recycled reviews.
Of course.
I did a video where I was doing my damnedest to do my best Roy, and I did a recycled review that I only put on Patreon, and it was okay. It was okay.
I would definitely default just completely go in the wrong direction, where I would do that kind of review, and it would be the janitor from The Simpsons instead.
Yeah.
That's where my brain would go, and it's like, I am reviewing this scotch today. It's great.
I ate your little dog. I ate the mess he made on me rug.
Oh my
You
God.
heard me.
The thing about Chad is when he does accents for more than a couple sentences, it somehow always turns into Christopher Walken.
Wow. I don't know what you mean. You're talking to me all wrong.
I feel like
you have to talk to Hot Video Rolls about Christopher Walken one of these days.
Yes.
I would love to.
Well, I have to
They're
say,
actually in your area, I think, right now. I don't know where they are.
Wait,
no, they're not right there, but they're in the
Rolls?
vicinity. I think they went to Kentucky recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris from Hot Video Rolls.
I have to say that now that the accents are being pulled out, I fully 100% am getting the signal of we have to feed him.
Yes. I wasn't going to say anything. I was looking at my watch. I'm like, they are clearly having too much fun, as are all my guests.
I'm having a great time, but
I thought you were going to talk about my world famous Jesse Pinkman, but whatever.
No, I was not. Fine. No, I'm not going to request any more accents.
Oh, that's award winning, but whatever.
That's enough.
The one thing I was going to bring up earlier, which I didn't do, is I was going to show you all. I will do this after you guys depart, unfortunately, so you can always watch the replay. I have a bunch of Sin City comics, and I was going to bring those out for reasons that you both are aware of, which I will tell nothing of to anyone else. But it has been a pleasure having you both on. You are free to come back whenever you want.
Thank you.
You can drag me on your channel. I'm not sure why you do that, but it's an option. And in general, it's always nice to just sit and chat with people, have some good whiskey, have views and conversations, and somehow end up having my name turn into Brain, and that's going to be a thing now. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see how things progress and just spend time in good company, especially with whiskey.
It was nice.
I agree. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for having us on your channel, Brain. And we really enjoyed ourselves. It was great.
I'm glad you had a good time. That's usually my fear. That's my nightmare, really, is people are like, oh, this is sucked by.
Oh no.
That hasn't happened yet, but my brain will always tell me.
Okay, I'm just saying if there's whiskey involved, if we've had 4, if you're still having a bad time at the end, then there's something wrong with you. Right? You should be having a good time, no matter what. So
if you aren't,
just take comfort in that.
If you aren't, you're drinking whiskey the wrong way. Don't do that.
If you're having a terrible time, I think you should maybe reach out for some assistance.
Pop the bottle, chugs, relax.
Right? Something's going on.
But I agree with Richie Z. Smash that like button there for Brain. And also thank you, Richie Z, for that plug for our channel.
Well, thanks.
Y'all subs, thank you much. Appreciate
What a nice little plug.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll bow out now.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna go
You guys enjoy your dinner.
Eat more dinner.
Eat more dinner. It's a pleasure having you both. Have a good night. I will see you guys on Sunday, probably.
You will.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brain.
Bye.
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 Well, everyone, that was the mystery guest, aka mystery guests. I hope you were surprised. I was definitely surprised. It was lovely to have them on. They as all my guests do, they stayed for longer than an hour, so bonus points. I still don't know why that happens. Quiet, you. Sure, all right. Anyway, I want to grab my comic books. I keep staring at them, and I'm not quite sure where they are. That's the problem. And I'd have to get up off my chair here, and you would be forced to stare at my poster and what some people have referenced as was it not Frodo? It's the other name. Bilbo? No, Frodo. It is Frodo. Some people have called this young woman Frodo. That is not Frodo. But I don't want to do that because we have to make this a whiskey show. I do have more whiskey to drink. Where is it? Oh yes, one of the ones that I had we had talked about having on the stream was Wild Turkey 101, but again, I really need to just end this bottle. Not gonna do it right now, but at the moment we will go back a bit because if you weren't aware, the Knob Creek pick they had was 60%, and I'm just off dry week, and I haven't eaten much today. I had breakfast, but I have to stick around for another 30 minutes. Well, 35 minutes. 36 minutes, 35 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, it's about 30 seconds. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for just being here in general. I know, unsurprisingly, the numbers were more than usual tonight, but that's part of why I like to keep things secretive-ish with guests, mystery guests especially, or mystery guests, because I want it to be for the people who are usually here, but I'm always happy when the mystery guest kind of lets things, invites others along. I don't demand that they do so. That would feel weird. It's like, oh, you're going to be a guest on my channel. Tell all your Patreons to be here or they have to die. No, I feel weird ever saying that. I don't say that. I say you can invite your Patreons if you want, because again, it has to be secretive. I didn't even tell my parents, for the record. They had no idea. I'm glad you had a good time. You're welcome back anytime you want, but I always leave that up to you. That's the important part, because I want the people who are guests to want to be here. Important part. Otherwise, it feels weird. I don't want to do that. I don't want to feel like I'm luring people in to be a guest. They just generally have to think, hey, that would be fun. That's all I want. Nothing else. I want nothing more in life just to entertain people and have them call me Brain. And I don't want that. Don't do it. Mr. K, like Mr. T. It's actually on my phone, believe it or not. My answering machine, it says, you've reached Mr. K. It confuses the hell out of people, which is glorious. Right? I was the most surprised of all of you. But that's me. That's the general. How do I put this? I like to reach out to other channels, but there is a phrase I keep in mind always. Some of you may know what movie it's from. It's Get Used to Disappointment. A favorite movie of mine, but also many life lessons were learned when I watched that movie. It's Whiskey on the Brain. Brian. Whatever. Everyone knows what I mean. Oh, I'm going back. Right? That was just coincidence, by the way. That wasn't a plan. We had talked 2-3 weeks ago, whatever. It was a while ago, last month maybe. And they were available for this time slot. And I was like, cool, that'll be great. And little did I know that it would be at the end of dry week. So it's perfect. There's no better way to have it, where it's like, hey, my dry week's over. By the way, my special guest tonight is guests. Ha! It just happens to be it's Bourbon night, by the way. It's amazing. Right? They're not supporting me. They're just pitying me. Sorry, stop that. Brain? Stop it. That's what this is going to be. Eventually, I'm just going to say Brain all the time, talking to myself in third person, because that's how it is. I do say that. I say my brain is a weird place, and my brain is a weird place. It's great. Oh man, Bourbon has hit 100. Time to celebrate. I'll have a drink. Where's my drink? Oh, there it is. I still want to grab my stuff. If you will give me 30 seconds, that's not true. I want to grab my comics, so you'll have an idea of what I was alluding to some extent. I don't need those on anymore. I'll be right back. Ow. I'm okay. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, I've upset the balance. It's all right. No problem. I lost all the viewers. No, you're all here. What am I talking about? So, let's just say there is something in the works in the It's Bourbon Night community, and it might look kind of like this. If you know who this is, Sin City, Dame to Kill For, Frank Miller, great. Over 18 only, please, by the by. So, we're all 21 plus here, so it's okay. Forgot the back looked like. But this is great. I love this comic book. I have a bunch of them. I have the other one. What the hell is it called? Or maybe that is this one. Hold on, let me check. The comic book time, because I'm a dork. No, I'm not. I am an enthusiast. There's a difference. Is it this one? No, it isn't. The other one is called That Yellow Bastard, I think. which is amazing, which is what's part of what the original movie was like. Enjoy the crinkly noises, by the by. I didn't even know I had this in plastic. How much was it? $14.50. Wow, those are the days. It's probably worth $30 now. Oh. I have no idea. I haven't bought comic books or graphic novels in a very long time. Don't look at the back. There's nudity. It's like putting on a... Never mind. There. Perfect. Beauty. But I wanted to mention that. Because it's epic. What they did is epic. I need to readjust. I am having wild turkey, by the way. If I hadn't mentioned that earlier, I know I did, just in case. Hello. But we're back to it just being Friday night. We got 30 minutes left before the Bourbon Wrench goes live. I think he's going live tonight. I feel like he is. Not sure. I think he is. Definitely think he is. I gave myself the reminder earlier, so he must be. So that'll be fun. I'm sure I'll see most of you there. Trev still has yet to be a guest. Trev, if you're here, no worries. I have many people I hope to have on at some point. It will always be a mystery guest until, I don't know, until I'm like 1,000 subscribers plus. You know what? Let's be crazy. 5,000 subscribers, and I'll actually give the names of the people. Until then, I have far too much fun being the only one who's aware of who the guest will be till it happens, aside from the guests themselves. That is just fun for me. I don't know why, it just is. I think there's something about a mystery. That must be what it is. Glad you enjoyed it, Whiskey Mountains. Glad you could be here. Looking forward to the stream on Sunday. Sunday, yes. My brain. Pork chops. Give me the pork chop. I want pork chops now. Damn it. Yeah, Groundkeeper Willie is now in everyone's brain. I'm sorry. That's right. You have your option. You can Bourbon Wrench Eric's Wait. There's a number of different whiskey tubers out there. 9 p.m. I believe Destination Bourbon sometimes goes live at 9 p.m. I'm not sure. Always. I don't keep track anymore. Yeah, that's the problem. Well, you could do a Sunday. So then you would be pre-gaming It's Bourbon Night show. It would be hilarious if you pre-gamed your own show. But I'm not going to make you do that if you don't want. It would be hilarious. I don't even know how to I don't understand how that would happen. Like a 2-hour pregame to your stream. I don't even know how to deal with that. It'd be very amusing. But again, I will get in touch with you. You get in touch with me, whatever. I don't even know how the best way to contact people is. I think I went through Instagram and email, and I think Discord. That's how I get in touch with people. Instagram's easiest, though. It's like Instant Messenger or something, or AOL Messenger. Oh, there's a flashback. Easy to just get in touch and easy to exchange information. The only part, I was like, even today, I was contacting It's Bourbon Night, and because they have lives, we'll say, there are times where I was just going like this, thinking, oh God, they're not going to get back to me, or they're going to forget, or they're not going to show up at all. Oh my God. I'm like, the usual things that my brain does. But everything turned out great. It was a lovely time. I hope to see them in person one of these days. It's always a little bit weird to have to formally introduce myself to people I've talked to over the past 2 years and had conversations with numerous times and ever actually met in person. But that's the age we're living in. By the way, watch Inside by Bo Burnham, because it's, oh my God. On Netflix, I say. If you don't have Netflix, I don't know what to tell you. But to be clear, I wasn't exactly sure who Bo Burnham was until I watched that show for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember that guy from 5+ years ago. I heard a little bit about him. And he's improved with age. He's improved with age like whiskey does. There we go. Segue, sort of. Well, yeah. I basically watch your stream, or I get horribly distracted. Actually, I usually have your stream on, but also I'm recuperating from my own. Not in any serious way. But tonight is definitely I feel that situation, because dry week, and I had 4 whiskeys in about an hour, 20 minutes ish. Many of them high proof, as I typically do. If I do anything, typically, I went with the lowest proof first and worked my way up. So it was 45%, 50%, then 52.5. No, just 52. And then we ended with the bang with their own Knob Creek pick. That was 60%. Delicious, but 60%. Holy shit. I was aware that it was 60% more than I realized the last time I had it. But I've also had a few situations where I think it was, was the most recent one? I think it was. Scott's Down Under, another Whiskey Tube channel person thing. If you like Australian accents, you would love his channel. He's got plenty of Scotch and whiskey in general. Talks like this a lot. I don't know why I have to make that inflection in everything I say. But anyway, I visit his streams on Saturdays occasionally. We do a Star Trek thing. Adriana's there as well, Whiskey Mountain sometimes, along with many other people. It's a glorious time. We all nerd out on whiskey and Star Trek. And unfortunately for me, my understanding of the topic was a little different from other people, and it just made me grab all my highest proof stuff and mix it together to see what would happen. Unsurprisingly, it was very high proof and not exactly easy to drink. Didn't taste terrible, but holy shit, it was a beast. There you go. Surprise to charge it. Most other channels that I promote are doing much better than I am, so it always feels a little funny. But I want to support the bigger guys. Bigger guys. There you go. If they support me, I support them. That's how it goes. Simple, easy peasy. Oh, and the one thing I actively do not do, which I have to remind myself of, is this. Yay! It popped up a couple times during the stream, but I actively do not have any. Well, myself anyway. I don't put any advertisement for my channel on when I have guests, because I want the people who are here generally to already know this stuff. You know, you can donate to PayPal, Venmo, Patreon if you want to become a Patreon member. But I don't want to throw that up on the screen if I have guests. That is not the purpose of having guests. The point of having guests is to enjoy their company, talk whiskey, talk anything, almost anything. Just enjoy each other's company. That's the key. Whiskey is something that binds us all together as a community and as people. And, well, for me anyway, it makes it easier to interact with others when there is a singular topic and a specific thing we all enjoy that is circulating in the conversation. And also social lubricant. Makes things much easier, but carefully. Not adultery, that's wrong. Professionally, no, that's not it either. What is the word I'm looking for? See, it's along the lines of adult, but not with the last ending I put in there. Responsible adult. There we go. Responsible adult drinking. Basically. Which is something I have to do to myself. Other people, well, if you enjoy getting sick all over yourself and feeling like shit next day, you do you. May not be the best decision in my mind, but it's your life. You do whatever you want. As long as you're not murdering anyone or doing harm to another. There you go. Scotch Down Under. He's well ahead of me. Actually, I have no idea. Give him a subscribe. Give me a subscribe. Subscribe is for everyone. Subscribe is for everyone. I have no idea if I've gained any subscribers today. I don't think I have, but that's just my Brian thinking negatively. There you go. Richie Z needs his own channel. We just want to see his beautiful face. Do it. Yep. Right? It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Granted, I feel like the third wheel, but that's okay too. I always feel like the third wheel. It's the thing. There you go. Well, maybe not shit talking, but in just talking. When people say shit talking, I think of a negative connotation, like, oh god, that other streamer, he says shit. It's not me. But there is. I don't want to go negative on this. There's weird stuff happening in the Whiskey Tube community because that's how it works. Everything here is okay though. So far, I have had to do things for myself, for my own mental well-being lately, where I just kind of, what's the best way to put it? Trim the hedges, sort of. Just simmer down on myself. Due to my mental health problems, I cannot have a number of distractions constantly. And if anything, Bo Burnham's Inside thing on Netflix has made me uncomfortably aware of my own distractibility and need, I guess, for the internet in general. Thus, I am doing this, being the center of attention and hopefully making money. It hasn't really happened yet, but it's working. Oh, I didn't show this earlier. I was supposed to show it when Chad and Sarah were here because they get a kick out of it. But you all have to help me hit 500 subscribers. Why may you say that? Because this was donated to the channel recently. That was loud. It's the Angel's Envy bottle. But look what it says. Hopefully you can read it. If I can just hold it right. To KillCo Whiskey Musings, WM. Open at 500 sub or as needed. Engraved on a freaking bottle. Donated to the channel. I can't open this till I hit 500 subscribers. Do you know how that feels? It's a weird feeling, I gotta say. But also an amazing whiskey. I've had Angel's Envy before, so I can't even call the video I'm going to do eventually. First taste. I haven't had it in a very, 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 very long time, though. We're talking at least 3 years since I've actually had a bottle, and I drank a whole thing fairly quickly. And it was one of the bottles I thought about keeping because it looks so nice. It's got the angel wings on the back and everything. Lies and slander. I mean, thank you. My brain is Brian doing the things again. I can read chat now. That's one of the really little points that sticks out in my head, that it is much more difficult to focus on the guest and the chat at the same time. It's juggling with knives situation, or it's like if I miss one, I feel like I got cut. I didn't, but it's that sensation. I don't want to miss anything. Part of the whole streaming thing here is, of course, the people in chat. That's the important part to me, because if you guys aren't saying much, well, it makes it very different for me. I can talk to myself a lot. I do it often. If you haven't watched the recent video from last Wednesday, what day is it? Friday? This past Wednesday, since it was a dry week, I did a slightly different video. It's called Being Me, and it's a brief glimpse into the life of someone with mental illness who's just kind of all over the place. That's kind of the point of it. When you watch it, you may think it's kind of just disjointed and obscure and random. That's the point. That's how it is. It's great. Well, my thought process is I'm not in a huge rush because I have been doing Whiskey Tube stuff for Quiet Phone. This coming September 1st, officially. I'm telling you all now. September 1st is the official time I said in my brain, all right, I am now making content officially on YouTube. And I started doing that in September 1st of 2019. You can look at other stuff I did before that. It's not actual content worthy. It's stuff I did with the intent of just having a catalog of my whiskey experiences up until then, where it was just me trying whiskey to record for myself to look at later when maybe I like whiskey more. I will return to some of those eventually. That is part of the plan. I have to go back and look at some of those videos and find out if I can get any bottles and see what's changed for me, see how I experience it differently. Granted, I'll be spoilering myself by watching the video and seeing my initial thoughts, but in general, it's a good thing to do, where it's almost like a reaction video kind of deal, where I will get the whiskey that I'm trying in the video and then do a video about me watching the video and sipping the whiskey. It's going to be super freaking weird, but it's an idea. Not what I'm doing yet, but it's a thought in the head somewhere. Yes, we're working on the 500 mark. Adriana blew past Adriana. Wow. Adriana blew past me already because she's awesome. And that scenery. God damn. I am going to do a video where I check out some scenery in Rhode Island at some point, but it's going to be a bit rough because the places I'm thinking of going are very tourist heavy. And if you're unaware, tourists are kind of going bonkers right now, going everyone. Well, thank you. Ghostface Bourbon. I appreciate it. I need all the subscribers. I need the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. That's another thing. If you are a current subscriber, if you want to do me a favor, a solid, if you will, just pick one of my, I only have a couple, but I have like, what the hell are they called? My Brian doesn't work too well. Hold please. Playlist. There we go. I have playlists of whiskey stuff. And if you just want to put those on and go to bed and just leave them running, that'd be great. The 4,000 watch hours thing is rough. But on the plus side, being a channel that has been going for 2+ years now, 2 years? 2+ years technically. But that would help. Because the YouTube overlords, damn it, they demand 4,000 watch hours, which is a lot. Believe it or not, it's a lot. And then, well, the whole thing is, I'm trying to rationalize this. It's not working. I'm talking to myself saying, oh yeah, the whole point of me getting all those subscribers and the view is for the viewers, so they can get the super chat button and give me money. That doesn't feel right. That's true, though. It is much easier to donate through YouTube, even if they do take a large cut of the profits. But it's just so much easier to click on a super chat button than it is to go through PayPal or Venmo. But silver lining, I have the option. Yeah, unlike before in my brain where that, there was no way I was going to make any money off of this to pay for anything. And, that reminds me. Speaking of giving me money, oh boy, that doesn't feel right. And thank you, everyone. I got to it. It just, the gears have to turn a bit. There you go. I've had that happen before. I think it happened once with 300 subscribers. I'm very tentative about the numbers now. I have to get to I will get to 400 eventually, but it has to go to about 410 for me to feel comfortable enough to actually do a 400 subscriber stream. That way, if a couple people leave, it won't feel as weird. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Wow, the alcohol isn't hitting me at all. The next bottle fund, which sounds a lot better than, give me money. Open 14. If you've ever had Open 14, it is amazing. This is it is the one Scotch whiskey I get when I go out to restaurants. And I know it's there, and bars occasionally. It's just a glorious pour. I've never actually reviewed it / tasted it on camera officially, not that I'm aware of, unless it was in one of those whiskey advent calendar things. I have no idea if it was, but the idea is to get the bottle. We're already, it's $20 off, which is, it's $45 left. So we're getting there. Granted, I should probably put that up on the screen somewhere, but I'm not gonna, because we got less than 50 minutes left. And it's not a major talking point. The major talking point thus far has been, of course, it's Bourbon Night, and that was fun. Hopefully they'll come on again sometime. It would be great to be on their channel, but again, my brain gets a little confused about that kind of idea. Because the only thing that happens is they have probably easily 200 plus, probably 300 plus viewers for every stream they do. And just the thought of me going on their stream and having a good chunk of those people just looking at me being like, who the fuck is this guy with his mustache? I don't know who this guy is at all. It'd be weird. However, the thought did occur to me just now / a while ago I don't want to say go to other large whiskey tubers and be, say, hey, help me get to 1,000 subscribers. That doesn't work. But at the very least, being on their channel and having a chat with them, I'd be fine with that. But I don't want to have the help me get to 1,000 subs thing, even though that is the long-term goal. How do I put this? People are going to subscribe because they want to be here and they want to see the content, or whatever it is. So that's the key point. You can't, I don't want to say sucker people in, but the words in my brain don't want to work right now. My brain. Yeah, people have to genuinely be interested in what you're doing rather than just the random subscriber, which are great, by the way. I like random subscribers, but even in my case, I was talking about the pruning recently. I unsubscribed to a lot of channels and a lot of people. Some of them just weren't active. That was the funny thing. But my attention can only be dragged in so many different directions because of how I am, and because I realized I had so many subscribers, so many subscriptions to other channels that just don't do anything. Same thing happened. I did the same thing with YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, even Discord. I had some Discord channels I was mildly interested in, but it wasn't enough. I wasn't active enough for me to still be there. So I just bailed out, kind of. No one's going to notice. That's the thing. Whoop. I missed something. Finally 14, huh? Pretzels. I don't know if I've ever had that. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I didn't notice they weren't making content. I just was going through the list and would look at some of them and be like, oh, well, for one of them, a young lady who I enjoyed the content of, who one of the videos she did specifically helped me get into whiskey, or helped me work my way into whiskey. She did a iced tea cocktail. So it was iced tea, maple syrup, Maker's Mark specifically, and I think a dash of lemon or a squeeze of lemon juice. It was glorious. I haven't had it in ages. I may have it tonight, actually. Wow. But she stopped making content, like actually made her last video kind of thing and was done. She stopped on a good note. She is set for life, I think. But I was like, oh, you're not making content anymore. Why am I still subscribed to you, kind of thing. Nothing against her. And I could find that channel again easily if I wanted to. But that kind of thing, you're just subscribed and you have no idea that it doesn't even do anything anymore. But I do understand that if you subscribe to a channel that is just constantly in your face, one of my absolute horrors is to be the guy who's posting his content all the time, which I feel like I'm doing on Facebook, because I've been doing videos once a week or more, depending on how functional I am. Streams 3 times a week now. Don't know how long I'll be doing that, because I don't think I can handle it in the long run. You know what it is? I'll probably continue to do Friday, Sunday, Wednesday-ish for a portion of the summer, simply because I know it's kind of downtime for people, and I just don't go outside in the summer. So there's that. But it gives people a place to be on certain times. The key thing for me is Friday, the end of the week. Glorious. Come on down, have some whiskey. Sunday, God, another week is starting tomorrow. Have a drink. Wednesday, hey, we made it through half a week. Have a drink. I'm an instigator, basically, is what I'm saying. But people are here. That's the important part. You people are here. We're having a time. We're just having a conversation, and I'm slipping into random accents all the time. Cheers to all of you, and thank you for being here. And I hope you enjoyed the guests for the evening. I did. It was nice to just have a little chit chat with other whiskey folk, and also something I never expected to happen. And I don't want to say it boosts my self-confidence, because I don't have any, but it's encouraging. It's nice to see a channel as large as It's Bourbon Night come on down to my level of nobody in particular. No, let's stop that. I'm very happy that they were here, is what I'm saying. As with many guests, so far I'm racking up a list at this point. We had Whiskey Central, Shayla, Whiskey Mountains, Adriana. Complete left, out of left field for me. With It's Bourbon Night was gracious enough to visit. And who knows who will be next, because I certainly don't yet. And for the most part, it's just lovely to have guests. in general. It's so much easier as a stream person, celebrity, no, influencer, no, shut up. A guy who does streams, it's so much easier to have guests and just talk with a person. While I can do what I'm doing right now, just kind of talking to the air and to the webcam, but also to the people in chat, even though it's difficult. Sometimes nothing's happening. Some motivation. Richie Z, it's always a pleasure to have you here. And it's fun. As I said, it's just fun to have surprises. That's part of it, as I said earlier. The mystery guest thing is just wonderful for me because some people are like, mystery guest, who the hell could that be? And then they tune in and find out who it is. And it's just, pulling back the curtain sort of thing. It's great. I'm not sure where that comes from for me. I don't know why I like the mystery of it. When it's not a mystery to me, that's the thing. I think I just like mysteries in general. I can go on and on about Sherlock Holmes kind of stuff, basically, is what I'm saying. And those aren't even a mystery to me anymore because I know all the stories. Damn it. That's that. That is kind of the path I'm walking down, I suppose, is the mystery of it all makes it more fun for me and hopefully for the viewer. As with tonight, we hit at least 30 people watching, and that is probably the highest it's been so far. I haven't actually documented that. I probably should. Also, It's Bourbon Night helped me out with a little fluke that I wasn't sure why it was a fluke, but for YouTube, because of what it is, they helped me figure out something about when I post my lives, which I do, regularly. I have a set time, so those who are here know. But what was bothering me is the streams weren't showing up ahead of time, so it wasn't, this will be on, and it would show that days ahead of time. The stream would be on Friday, and you could easily see that would happen on Wednesday, sort of thing. I wasn't sure why that wasn't happening, and they helped me figure that out, I hope. So from now on, if you are not aware of what time frame I usually go live, there will hopefully be, it'll pop up, and you can click the bell, click the reminder, whatever, for it. And that'll make things easier for the viewer. I hope. I haven't tested it yet, but it should. Well, we did kind of test it, so hopefully it will be something that occurs without me having to worry about it. I will still broadcast everything across every social media I can, just because that's what I've been doing so far. So, yay. It works. You get 10 to 20 people in here. It's great. It's wonderful. If I were around 10 to 20 people, I would be freaking out. At least, 15 to 20 people, 10 to 20 people staring right at me, I would have a problem. But in this situation, it's fine. It's good. I like. And of course, we're all drinking. That's the key. Social lubricant, as they say. I don't think I've had a sip of this yet. Oh, Old Faithful, man. Wild Turkey 101. It's good. So good. It's delish. Everyone should have a bottle of Wild Turkey 101. Unless you hate Wild Turkey 101, then don't do that. I did think about grabbing my rare breed, but I didn't. I will have that tomorrow, maybe Sunday, soon. What I'll say. I'm actually not sure who's going live tomorrow. There's always a blip in my head for Saturdays. I believe Whiskey Central might. She also has a lot going on. So there's that. The other problem is, due to my situation with finances, I can't subscribe to every single WhiskeyTube Patreon. I wish I could. So there's that. So I don't always get on the down low. I believe there's 4. 4? Feels about right. I believe I am a Patreon of Whiskey Tribe, Aquavite, It's Bourbon Night. Oh, it's still it. That's it. So we got a mix. I know with Whiskey Tribe / Whiskey Vault, I am $7 in. I've been doing that for years now. But I have my name on the wall. It's important. I wanna have my name on the damn wall at the Crowded Barrel because I'm special. Wow, Mike Franklin, I'm glad you have the rye. I still have yet to try the Wild Turkey 101 rye. I haven't seen it. Sucks, but I'll find it eventually. Oh, that's right. They're on the road on Saturday. So hopefully Cheech or Whiskey Encore. Whiskey Encore? My brain. We'll be going live on Saturday. That is who I usually have in my brain as not Cheech. Hot Butter Rolls is usually who I watch Saturday nights. But it'll be good to see Cheech. We're coming up in the last few seconds here. I'm going to go overtime. Holy shit. Not soon, James. It's got right on at 500 subscribers, so I can't open it till then. Woo! But I hope to open it eventually. Let's get on. I got it. Thank you all for being here. I'm going over my limit now. Tread's going live. I will see you there. As always, or as what I'm saying recently, I should say, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there.